is music? According to Oxford Languages, music is simply an arrangement of sounds that have rhythm and a melody. But if this is the case, then why does it play such a significant role in our lives? Hi, my name is Matthew Zhang, and this is the question that I was wondering about when writing this TED Talk. I mean, just think about it. How often do you listen to music every day? Well, for students, whether we're cramming for a test or simply driving to a destination, it's most likely accompanied by the sound of music. So then, this begs the question, why is listening to it such an addicting experience to us? Well, it's because of the different emotions we feel when we do so. Because that is what music is at its deepest. A method of emotional output, a form of self-expression. But then, what causes us to have these emotions when we listen to it? To put it simply, when we hear these auditory sequences, chemicals are released to cells in our brains known as neurons. These neurons communicate to each other through electrical signals, and our nervous system, our body's system of neurons, controls the sensation and emotion we feel. For example, if you were to listen to your favorite playlist on Spotify, a chemical called dopamine would be released, which makes you feel satisfaction and pleasure. Endorphins would also be released, which is what gives you that heightened feeling of excitement. So now we know how music affects our emotions, but why do we care? Well, we can use music in order to improve people's mental well-being, an issue that has become much more prevalent during the pandemic. In a study done by the World Health Organization, there's been a 25% increase in anxiety and depression as of March of 2022. Now, I'm sure during this time, you've seen headlines about an extreme eruption in COVID-19 cases at some point, or a new strain of the virus. But have you really seen anything about the magnitude of the effect this event has had on people's mental health? I don't think so. There's been a variety of reasons for this. For one, people are stressed over the social isolation. They're anxious over their financial situation. And in general, they're just more constrained in their abilities to seek help during this time. However, during these challenging times, there's always been one thing I could turn to: music. At the beginning, not being able to hang out with friends or play sports had a profound effect on me. To add to that, I had just moved school districts. In my freshman year of high school, I hoped to get to know my classmates and make new friends. But with Zoom, that was impossible. I'm sure you remember how hard it is to socialize in breakout rooms. I ended up having all this built-up frustration and anger with no way to release it. But that is when I found my solution. You see, up until that point, I'd been playing the violin for 5 to 6 years, but I hadn't found that true joy and passion true musicians get when they play their instrument, up until that point. The violin became my craft where I could instill my own character. And at a time where I didn't really know who I was, I put hours of hard work and dedication into improving, and after generally liking the music I produced more, I truly felt as if I was a true musician, as if I had self-identity. So, with the way music helped me during these times, I think it can also help other students in the future. This is where music therapy comes in. Chemicals released when you listen to music can induce happy moods and offer short-term benefits. However, for some mental illnesses, this is simply not enough. More extensive medical treatment is necessary. Now, you may be asking, what is music therapy? And to put it in simple terms, it's combining the emotional elements of music with scientifically proven methods to improve mental health. Now, music therapy isn't anything new, as it's used to treat a variety of mental illnesses such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, and many behavioral disorders. During sessions, music is utilized in a variety of ways. For one, different types of music may be played to target certain parts of the patient's brain. A patient with, say, Parkinson's will have music that targets the frontal lobe plate in order to improve their motor skills. Patients may be asked to analyze a piece of music and relate its core themes to their own experiences. They may simply sing along in order to gain a stronger relationship with their therapist. And anyway, the use of music in music therapy is methodically done in order to ensure long-lasting benefits in mental well-being. Another approach is for the patient to learn an instrument, as it helps relieve stress and keeps the mind sharp. All benefits I've experienced from practicing my music. I use playing the violin every day to recharge my brain, as it gives me something to focus on other than my numerous extracurriculars and schoolwork. Instead of being unproductive, I can refocus afterwards and be more efficient. So at this point, you're probably asking yourself, okay, Matthew, this is all pretty cool, but what proof do you have? Why do you so strongly believe that this can help so many people? Well, it's because I've experienced its healing effects myself. You see, it turns out my uncle is an Italian music professor, and he's an expert in this field. In the midst of the pandemic, me and my family were very on edge and frustrated, as I'm sure many of you were as well. My dad was very overwhelmed by his work, and my mom was dealing with so many health issues. So what's the correlation? Well, on one visit to my aunt and uncle, he proposed that we all have a music therapy session with him. And as I saw my parents immerse themselves in his music, I noticed that they were smiling. There was true joy on their face, something that I hadn't seen in a long time. It was as if they had completely forgotten about the challenges and hardships they faced in their lives. Although this such euphoria was not long-lasting, it put fully on display to me the healing effects of music. A few months ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and although there was treatment for her, it left her with severe side effects that brought her down physically and mentally. I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the most challenging times me and my dad ever faced in our lives. But my mom's always had a love for music, and she was the one that first got me into the violin in the first place. If you know me at all, you know that I have crippling performance anxiety, and just giving this talk on the stage in front of about 15 audience members is a large step out of my comfort zone. But after seeing how music helped my mom get through her recovery, it inspired me to come up here and share my experiences with you. Music was her way of enduring the insurmountable pain she faced, and it helped me and my dad stay optimistic during those hard times. That experience was the driving factor that led me to become more devoted to the violin, as I believed my own playing could have the same effect on other people. So, why is this topic important? I mean, if it wasn't important, I wouldn't be giving this talk. Well, mental health has been an ongoing issue for children and teens for years now, and it's only grown during the pandemic. This is why many schools around the country are figuring out ways to counteract this sudden surge. For example, laws have been passed that require many California schools to offer a mental health course for their students. Other schools have hired trained professionals or built mental health facilities on their campuses. I believe that music therapy can be easily implemented into these programs and can be more effective than the methods already used. For example, a student with autism may find it hard to express themselves verbally, but music therapy gives them an alternative way to do so. Music may just be heard as pleasant sounds to your ear, but if there's one thing that you take away from this talk, it's that it's so much more. It's a form of emotional expression, and it's a language for communication. Mental health is of the utmost importance, and it will continue to be a large issue in society moving forward. This is why I want to spread more awareness about music therapy, because I want other people to be able to find the joy and happiness I find in my violin every day. I want them to finally have a solution to the struggle with mental health. Now, with everything I've just said, sit back and listen to one last piece.